as a life path number 3, I need to be creating and putting out content constantly. Um, but anyway, so in this live, it has come to my attention that I need to teach and discipline consciousness on how best to love other people. I didn't realize that this was part of my life purpose until very recently. Um, but it has come to my attention that I need to teach people how to love others. And it's not going to be just in this live. I'm going to have to potentially dedicate my entire life to this. I didn't realize people didn't know how to love. So I'll start by saying this. If you have time to talk about someone or even think about someone, you have time to pick up the phone, get on a video chat or telephone, and talk to them face to face. You could even do it in person. That's the best way to do something if it's really important. If you know someone is struggling with something and you turn to your friend or partner and talk about them instead of reach out to them, or you make a video or a short kind of mocking what they're going through, that's fucked up. It's actually evil, in my opinion. That's not how I love people. I love people directly. That's how I've always loved, directly. Um, it's human nature to talk about other people, to gossip, to talk about other people and what they're going through. It's human nature. And it can even be healthy if you're discussing someone's problem and figuring out how best to help them and support them. It can be healthy to talk about someone else and their problems. But if you're laughing at what they're going through, if you're mocking, and if you would rather make videos where, you do your makeup and you do your hair and you put on really nice clothes and you sit and you preach about someone's problem and how to fix it, when you could just pick up the phone wearing a t-shirt and having messy hair and talk to them directly, one of those two options is way more loving. Now, I am a preacher, I am a minister, I am a speaker by design. My life path number 3. I'm all for getting dolled up and preaching and ministering. I'm all for it. But if someone's in a crisis, if someone you love and know, or even a stranger, if they need help, then pick up the phone and call them. Visit them in person. Have a video chat. And when you do this, make sure you listen to what they're going through and let them tell you everything that's happened so that you can actually help. It's not okay to sit back, gossip, mock, and make videos and hope that the person sees it. That's not how we love people. So, if someone you know is struggling with something, pick up the fucking phone and call them. Make yourself available to talk to them. And don't prescribe something to them whether it be medication or therapy or doing this or taking this action, until you go through their whole life situation with them and help them pick apart every single um, part of their reality and what's happening, and making sure that what you're telling them to do is actually in theirs and everyone involved in the scenario's best and highest interest. If someone is struggling and they are asking for help, you need to talk to them. Don't triangulate and talk to other people about them unless that's part of the solution. If you have time to talk about someone or think about someone, you have time to talk to them. So use the time that you're talking about that person to talk to them. I am literally, I cannot believe the depth to which I have loved other people and supported other people in my life, and how when I've needed it most, everyone is turning their back on me. I have been extremely hands on when I have loved other people. That's the kind of person I am. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about leaking your energy or taking from yourself. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying if you have the choice, you have a choice in how you spend the time in your day every single day. You could make a YouTube video or you could call someone and help them. Now, you can do both as well. What I'm saying is don't make YouTube videos trying to indirectly talk to people when you could reach out to them directly. It blows my mind that I have to put this communication out there. Don't talk about people, talk to them. And I'm going to say it again, it's natural to gossip. Everyone does it, and it can be very healthy. It can be extremely healthy. Seriously. If you are talking about someone's problems in their life and how best to support them, that can be totally normal, natural, healthy. But if you are doing that instead of talking to them, or you don't also talk to them, That is extremely messed up. You can make YouTube videos to help people. You can make YouTube shorts. I'm not knocking that. I love being on social media. I wish I could do more of that. However, don't do that instead of directly reaching out. If you're going to make a YouTube video about what someone's going through, um reach out to them directly. Especially because you're essentially using someone's life problems to grow your own business and get views on social media. That's not what we do, fam. Actually help people directly. And then you can make a YouTube video. This is so messed up. Yes, real quagmire. Yes, people are doing this to me right now. People would rather grow their own business, use what I'm going through to make videos and increase their followers and likes and subscribers, instead of just talking directly to me and helping me. I have literally never done this to another person. So it's not like I have bad karma coming back to me. People just don't know how to love. Get on a video call, get on a phone call, and reach out to the person directly and have a real conversation with them. And then you can make a YouTube video if you want to, if you're called. Make the YouTube video with that person that you helped. Interview them. Help grow their business and social media following. Don't make everything about you. Humanity needs to be highly disciplined, apparently. I had no idea things were this bad. For example, we don't resolve, this is an example, we don't resolve homelessness by making sermons about homelessness. That can be part of it, but it's going to really be resolved by talking to people and actually getting them the help that they need. What I'm basically saying is you have to do both. If you're going to make videos and sermons and YouTube shorts about real problems people are going through, then you also need to reach out to them directly. Stop hiding behind social media and mocking and making fun of people and making light of people's crises. This isn't funny. I've never done this to anybody. If anyone I've known has ever needed me, I have just physically been there whether through a phone call, video call, private message, even in person. And so I don't understand this really sick mentality where people would rather get likes and followers and subscribers than actually legitimately help people. This is evil. It's kind of like this. Okay. So, Alzheimer's is a passion of mine. Dementia, healing dementia is a passion of mine. Um, One thing you might be aware of is people do walks to like raise money to end Alzheimer's, right? Like walk to end Alzheimer's, right? Well, what's funny about that, and it's not actually funny, what's ironic, I guess, about that is that the people who have dementia and Alzheimer's need to be doing the walking. Walking really helps people with dementia and Alzheimer's. And so, this sick human behavior of we're gonna walk, we're gonna go walk to raise money to help find the cure for Alzheimer's and dementia. Um, it's almost like a kind of a big collective joke or something. Because the people who have dementia, who have Alzheimer's, need to be doing the walking. I saw this thing on my Facebook that said, hike to end Alzheimer's. And it was basically, you know these things. But it's the people who have Alzheimer's, who have dementia, who need to be doing the walking. And so if you really want to help people, what you would need to do is find out, help them heal their blocks to exercising, to walking. You're almost mocking people when you do that. I don't stand by this. It's literally, it's almost like people are mocking people who have illnesses and who have problems. Like, let's all walk. We're all gonna walk and hike um and raise money to find the cure for Alzheimer's. Walking, kind of like a humiliation ritual. Yes, exactly. Real underscore Quagmire. You get it. So, one thing that I learned, one thing that God had me do when I was working with patients, I was a CNA. God asked me to take a CNA class, and God specifically kept placing me in memory care units. I would like try to be a normal CNA, and God would be like, nope, you're going over to Remembrance Home. God was always having me work with dementia and Alzheimer's patients. And one of the things I noticed that God kept asking me to do is um kind of like try to actually resolve the core problems. Like just for example, I can't say names of course, but there was this one person I was working with, this one elderly person I was working with. Um she would always isolate herself in her room and she would never come out for church services. Um she um she she would always like they would stream church services. There were church services designed for people with dementia, believe it or not. Not kidding. And they would live stream it into the into Remembrance Home. And there's this one woman who would never come out of her room. And I had two options as a CNA. I could do what all the other CNAs were doing, which is they would talk about how isolated this person was and kind of be like, well, like kind of like um just kind of ignore her. Or what God told me to do is I went in her room and I talked to her directly and I helped her uncover her reasons for isolating herself. And then she let me push her in her wheelchair into the main room to be with everybody during church service. And so, if anyone's listening to this, if someone needs help, the best way to help someone is directly. You can sit or stand and gossip about other people all you want. You can make as many videos as you want. But if you really want to love someone, go talk to them directly. Listen to them, find out what's actually going on, and actually help them. Do not make assumptions. Do not oversimplify what they're going through. And make sure you fully understand really assess, do your due diligence. It's one thing to partner with other people and talk about issues someone is going through, and it's another thing altogether to um just gossip. There's a intelligent use of gossip. Gossip is human nature. And I'm not saying stop gossiping, but if you have time to gossip, you have time to reach out. If you have time to make a video, you have time to reach out. I have never been like lazy in love, whether at a workplace or with a relationship. I've never been lazy in love. And so I don't understand why people are being so lazy with their love for me when I need it the most. Love is action. And I'm going to say it again. If you have time to talk about someone, you have time to talk to someone. If you have time to think about someone and what they're going through, you have time to talk to them. I have noticed this a lot in every work. Thanks, real Quagmire, real underscore Quagmire. Thank you. I have noticed this in every work environment I have ever been in. You can either kind of, you and your coworkers, you and your team can either like all become um, like, have like gossip fests, and never really resolve the core problems going on. Or you can, sure, gossip, um, but then like actually resolve a problem. And me personally, I always want to resolve the problem and make everything what is best for everybody involved. So, um, let's stop talking about people unless we're also going to talk to them. I talk about other people all the time. It's human nature, it's natural, it's normal, it's healthy. However, if you are using the time in your day only to talk about someone, only to think about someone, and then even potentially even like mock them, um, without actually directly reaching out and helping them, that's really sick. That's really sick and messed up. And I think maybe a lot of what's going on is if people actually talked to me right now and they heard my story and all of the little details and ins and outs of what's been going on for all these years, they would have to come to the conclusion that something is deeply wrong and it's not me. So if you're avoiding talking to someone, it's probably because if you talk to them, your ego is going to take a hit. And all of your preconceived notions and judgments are going to have to be put on the side. You're going to have to actually listen to the truth of what someone's going through and what God has been up to in their life and the challenges they've faced. And you're not going to be able to hide behind your BS anymore. You're going to have to be more humble and admit that you're not like you're not loving. One really so full disclosure, I am struggling with dementia. It's very real, it's very scary. I want to talk more about it. Um but um one of the things that helps prevent and fight dementia and Alzheimer's is exercise. I have a bad knee, and so I have to be extremely careful with exercise. And in fact, I have hurt my bad knee so often from kind of pushing myself to exercise when I can't. I have an extremely bad knee. I've had two surgeries on it, and my doctor has told me that I'm going to need a full knee replacement at some point in my life. And whenever I try to like kind of like forget about my bad knee and I just, try to be normal, I end up in the hospital. Okay? And so um walking is pretty much the only exercise I can do. And if I hike, I have to be really, really careful. One thing that's been really loving, when Dan and I lived in Baraboo, Wisconsin, we lived right by Devil's Lake or Spirit Lake. There's a mistranslation. Imagine that. Um, there's a lot of hiking in Devil's Lake, Spirit Lake. I'm gonna call it Spirit Lake. Um, there's a lot of hiking around Spirit Lake. And when we lived up there, Dan and I would go hiking all of the time. And one of the really compassionate things he would do is he would take me hiking and he would slow down. His mom came with us too last summer. Um, because of his support, I was able to hike paths that I wouldn't have been able to on my own because of Dan's support and compassion. And last summer, for instance, um, um, Dan and his mom took me on my second time up to Devil's Doorway, Heaven's Doorway. And they didn't just go off without me. They didn't say, fuck you, Deanna, I'm leaving you at the bottom of the trail because you can't walk very fast. You're crippled. Fuck you. No, they're not dicks. What they did is they went at my pace. And when I was struggling, they helped me. And together we made it all the way to the top. And that's what the ascension is supposed to be like. If someone's in a wheelchair, you push them. If someone has PTSD, you help them heal it. If someone is isolated, you include them. If God is flowing through someone and it's their turn to speak, hand them the microphone and encourage them to talk. This isn't funny. This isn't okay. I've had enough. There's real love and then there's fake love. There's real compassion and then there's fake compassion. If you know that someone is struggling and you push them away and you tell them to figure it out on their own, and then you go and make a YouTube video, you are a fucking prick. You are a goddamn fucking asshole. So, if you have time to talk about someone, you have time to talk to someone. If you have time to think about someone, you have time to reach out. Do not choose making YouTube videos over directly talking to somebody. If God gives you 10 extra minutes in your day, and you can either make a YouTube video or talk to someone directly, choose talking to them directly. Now, if you have an abundance mindset, you can do both. You can make a YouTube video and reach out directly. But don't do one, like don't make the video and just leave someone stranded. I've never done that. I never will do that. Let's make YouTube videos in divine order. God's not gonna tell you to make a YouTube video when someone you love needs you to hold space for them. You're selling out. Now you can do both. You can do both. But I'm saying, I hope we understand what I'm really getting at is don't choose the followers and the subscribers and the likes and the ego boost you get from posting a video. Don't choose that over directly talking to someone and being with someone when they need it most. Do the right thing. Reach out directly. There's nothing, in my opinion, in my spiritual teaching as a spiritual teacher, there is nothing more important than loving God's children directly. And I did not, when I was a CNA, I did not go home and make YouTube videos about my um elderly patient who was isolating herself. I didn't go home after working with her and make a video about how she needs to stop isolating herself. That's what an immature brat would do. I went and I was with her and loved her directly. And then this is the first time I'm even talking about that. And it was years ago. You don't need to share every loving thing you do. You don't need to share every loving thing that you do. You don't need to brag about everyone you help. Like, I'm so cool that I helped this person. Yeah, it's okay to talk about and share about the love that you give, but don't be a fucking brat. Don't be an immature fucking asshole who just makes YouTube videos and doesn't actually talk to the people who need help. Like, so I'm gonna end this live, but I really didn't realize people were this fucked up and I needed to speak to this. So please, if someone needs help, and especially if they reach out directly to you, do not push them away. Do not stonewall them. And especially, do not shut them out and then make YouTube videos about what they're going through. That's about as sick as it gets. That's about as fucked up as you can really be. I challenge you today. I challenge you, if you're watching this, to go love another person and don't tell anyone about it. Go love someone today and don't tell anyone about it. Don't make a YouTube video about it. Don't make a blog post about it. Don't brag to your friends and family. I challenge you today. Go love someone who needs a little bit of extra support directly and don't tell a single soul about it. You know who's watching? God. And we all should be after God's heart, not likes and follows. And once again, I'm going to say it so people don't get all offended. I love social media. I want to be making podcasts and blogs and videos and e-courses. Don't get me twisted. I love social media. But don't use it to avoid really loving someone directly where and how they actually need it most.